Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back for another episode of Bastion. First off, let me ask you to turn off any ad blockers or whitelist me, help me make a career. We have done everything we can do, and the only thing we really can't do is the bullhead cord. And so we are ready now, as we look at the map, to go to the final level, the Tazl terminals. And we're gonna end this game. We're gonna do things a little bit different than what we did last time, and that should be great news. Hopefully it works this time. So instead of going back in time, obviously, since we're gonna make a different decision, we're gonna go forward, and we're gonna move forward from the point we're at and just accept the past and try and grow from it. And this time we are not going to leave our friend behind, because we're not going back in time to reset it. Nothing seemed to have changed when we went back in time or reset time. I don't think it's really a situation where the Bastion sent us back in time as much as it created a save state and then restored the save state. So it just seemed like everything was back in time. But the Calamity still happened. What we will want to do here is we want to listen to Rusk and see if he says anything different. We want to watch the ending, see if anything different happens. And most of all, we just want to get this run done and hope it works. This time we're taking Zia's plan. I hope it's the right one.
The Tazl terminals, all that's left of the Ur civilization, and the last stop on his little journey.
So we're off to rescue Zulf and get the last shard to use the Bastion.
I can't hear him at all anymore. He's too far away. But he'll be alright. Got his lifelong friend to keep him company.
Took the hammer, said something new there. Apparently he had some kind of psychic ability.
Just needs to get that shard from Zulf and come on home. The Calamity hit the Tazl terminals hardest of all. You know why Zulf went back there. The place was his home. All his old friends and family were there. Taken by the Calamity. Zulf must be there all alone, just waiting.
All alone, surrounded by all these who are attacking me.
You know what's funny?
Nothing.
Well,
Nothing's funny.
all of us are waiting for a kid. Look around. There's not much left to do here in the Bastion, I'm afraid. But Zia, there's another reason I've been telling you all this. So why not tell each other stories to pass the time, right?
Just leave some turrets everywhere. Every time we get a new black hole.
There's something I want you to understand. When the kid brings back that shard, the Bastion will be complete. This disease the Earth planet here will go away. What happens to Zolf will no longer matter.
So, he says it won't matter anymore, and I have to disagree with that. Even though we know we went back in time, even though we have seen evidence to the fact that
Zealandia will be whole again.
it still matters. What you do matters. Even in a timeline about to be reset, it still matters.
Everyone will be all right. Problem is, we'll all be gone. Oh, we're not gonna die. It's more like all of this will just stop. Things will go back to the way they used to be. That's the power of the Bastion.
Oh yeah, I gotta get the hopscotch.
This whole place is a living record of the times before the Calamity. The way things were before this story. Good times, right?
Were they really good times? I mean, every story I've heard, they weren't really that good.
You'd be your old self again. Think of all those times that didn't go your way.
Why am I collecting fragments? Let's just call it here. I have about 9,000 fragments. I can get probably a few hundred, 100 or 2 more. It doesn't matter. I don't think I'm gonna unlock anything if I have like
All of life's
10,000.
little setbacks. Imagine if you could have another go at him.
It says anything would change. We've seen nothing does change. This is
No mistakes.
just jumped over that old thing. You don't
Anyone
make
you've ever
mistakes,
heard.
you can't learn from them.
Everything you've ever done, you could do it over. And wouldn't that be grand?
Would it?
Wouldn't you agree? Well, I guess there's nothing more to say.
There we go. There we go. One of those.
Ah, who am I kidding?
yep, this is the section
Look.
that's a little strange.
There's something else. A confession. How come I know so much about the Bastion? You follow me? Well, I designed the place, but that's beside the point. There's one problem with a place that sets things back to a bygone time. You can't test it.
This is where they've
So you're
got
probably
failures
wondering
doing
if the Calamity happened already.
multiple times.
What's to stop it from happening again after the Bastion does its thing?
Nothing we've seen that does happen exactly the same.
The answer is... I don't know. You're wondering if there ain't some other way out of this mess. It's alright. I can tell. But why would you even want another way? Unless you wanted to stay here with us.
Now, there isn't a lot of motivation why Zia would want to stay here with us. We haven't been that kind to her.
Well,
But I guess
that's
her life
sweet and
was
all,
pretty
but
tough.
I don't know if I can stick around.
Let's see. Almost gonna get to 9,000 on the fragments, whether I intend to bother with it or not. Here we go.
The weight of the Calamity. It's on our shoulders.
So
We
there's
can't
our
just let it go.
left trigger, right trigger. Secret skill is gone now.
Bastion does have another function, strictly speaking. If ever the monument blew out and we couldn't repair it, we could still evacuate. First, we'd round up as many folks as we could carry.
Yeah.
Next, we'd detonate the cores, and we'd take off away from here.
So could we take some up with us, or am I killing all of them right now?
Of course, that would mean no going back. Ever. But then again, that way all of us could leave the city. Together.
What a concept. Actually working together.
You know Zolf and his countrymen won't be giving up that shard without a fight, don't you? Zolf and the Ura, all they want now is to see the Bastion fall.
It slows down your walking on this point, which is not the best thing I wanted in a game.
Zolf dedicated his life to a lasting peace between the Ura and Caelandia.
That's really the main theme of the story, is that we just... Nobody in this story ever communicated, ever worked together. It's always one side trying to do
He can't
something.
imagine the city would try to wipe the Ura out. Zolf ain't lost every shred of decency though, has he? tried to warn you about his plans. He tried to warn the kid. For Zolf, this ain't a personal matter. It ain't a simple matter of pride either. But one thing's for sure, Lyra can't be happy that the kid followed Zolf all the way home.
There you go, we left him. Do this. I'm not leaving people behind. We're doing things different. So we have our choice, but we've already said we're gonna take Zolf. We're gonna leave this super powerful weapon, and we're gonna save our friend. Who, why are we even calling him a friend? Well, a hopeful friend, maybe. Maybe we want him to be our friend. Maybe we just need him to be our friend. I don't know. But that's what I call him. So that's what I'm gonna say he is.
I can see it now. The kid in one corner, and Zolf in the other. Ain't much of a fight.
Am I supposed to hit the switch, or am I supposed to be... Which way am I supposed to be going? Which way?
Don't you worry, though. Once the Bastion's restored, it'll all be alright. Although, after talking it over like this, guess I'm beginning to have my doubts.
I set my sail, fly, the wind it will take me back to my home, sweet home.
So, I can't do anything.
My back,
Can't defend.
clouds are making way for me. I'm coming home.
They've stopped attacking.
Sweet home.
They're moving out of the way.
I see your star. You
Sometimes
left
it's just
it
doing the right
burning
thing.
for me.
And then people
Mother,
start seeing people doing the right thing.
I'm here.
And now they're not even allowing the one person to attack there. They knocked him out.
Open
I hope they knocked him out and didn't kill him.
Feel your heart.
finally
Kid's probably
learned.
dealt with Zolf by now.
Finally people get it.
He reminds me of myself when I was his age. I ever tell you about those days? Hey, kid. Get up, kid. Come on, that ain't funny. I say get up. That's more like it. Now, set that shard into the monument there. Then we'll talk.
We have Zolf.
Can't believe you brought him back again. Bet you had to do more than say please this time.
And we have...
First things first, kid. The Bastion's waiting.
We can't go into any of the stores or anything. We've saved all the animals, all of our friends, even the Easter egg sentry truck.
I see a thing.
we've saved as many things and life forms and machines as we could. And I hope we save more.
The Bastion. It's finally finished. Now, there's something I want you to see. Welcome to the heart of the Bastion. I ain't one for long goodbyes, so here's the deal. Zia and I figure you done the heavy lifting, so you get to do the honors. We can tell you how to work this thing if you got any questions.
Let's ask.
Good to see you.
Ask about the restoration. What will it feel like when the Bastion fixes everything?
You can undo the Calamity here and now. Go on, kid. And before I forget, thank you.
Ask about the evacuation. If you could go anywhere, would you go back or somewhere else?
Always wondered what the motherland was like. Not that it matters anymore.
Zolf never learned the truth, the whole truth, did he?
Zolf only brought more ruin to the Ura. No wonder they didn't take kindly to him.
So oddly enough, we have the Pecker's Nest here.
You've got one thing left to do, so you hang on to that badge. Besides, you earned it. Don't let anything you've done get to you. You can save all those creatures here and now.
But since I'm choosing to go forward,
Just go
I
with
have
your
to go
gut.
forward
You'll do the right thing.
with a somewhat, I wouldn't say somewhat, a very unclean soul. I've killed a lot of things in this game. And I'm gonna have to bear those actions out and deal with them myself.
You made it. So, let's see. You can either prevent the Calamity, or stick around with me and Rex. I'd hate to be in your shoes. If I could be any place I wanted, I'd stay right here. We could go anywhere in the world.
This ending is definitely pointing towards the ending you would choose for a sequel.
Zolf tried to talk me into joining him. I tried to talk him out of it. I guess we both failed. When I finally found my people, I told them we could help. They just took me for a traitor. Glad you showed up. Any moment I'd want to live again happened after the Calamity, not before.
Probably should have read what those said, but I didn't. Sorry. Go back and look at the first ending. I think I may have read that, or pause the screen and read it. So we're ready for a choice. We're gonna choose evacuation. Because we did restoration before, and it didn't seem to change anything. Would we have to do restoration over and over and over again, just slightly getting better at it? Hopefully becoming a cycle in some small hopes that the Calamity wouldn't happen? I don't think the Calamity was ever going to be stopped. I think there was just too much bad blood and not enough learning going on. And I don't think we learned anything by initiating restoration. I don't think we learned anything the first time. But we have learned something this time. We're going forward. We're accepting the current situations instead of trying to change them. And we're moving forward. We're evacuating.
Oh, mother. here, I figured you'd had enough of me by now. You could have undone the Calamity itself, but instead you want to stay in a world like this. I gotta admit, kid, I ain't yet put much thought in that idea of carrying on with you here. We can't go back no more, but I suppose we could go wherever we please. And if anyone's left out there, I sure would like to see the look in their faces when we dock this thing right on their doorstep. Getting ahead of myself, though. I'm gonna need a first mate. What do you say?
Where did they get the clothes? That's my question. So when we see the ending here, we see Zolf, we see Zia, we see everybody. Apparently they're becoming sailors. I wouldn't say pirates per se, but they're becoming air sailors, as it were, going across the ocean, probably to the homeland, setting up for a sequel, which would be cool. And now I think we've done the both extremes, in my opinion, of the endings. The first ending was very much we were believing that the going back in time and setting it up would fix everything. So we left Zolf, it didn't matter to us, and we go back. And this time we accepted things weren't going to change from the beginning, and because of that, we are going to move forward with Wolf and save him. So, while I can't change the little things that I did in the game that seem to not really affect the ending much at all, things like hitting the ash people, things like saving specific creatures during the attack on the Bastion. Things like not fighting specific people and just walking away. None of those things really seem like they changed anything. They were just choices with no real consequences, which is alright with a game. I'd rather have a game have choices that just allow the character to be more in tune with the player than have a lot of these games where there's a whole very large grid of potential endings that play this game eight times through to get everything right. Right now it seems like there are only 4 potential endings, and we've seen 2. We've seen the restoration, we trust restoration, and we've seen evacuation, we trust evacuation. Now there are 2 endings in this that we haven't seen, and that's what I'm gonna do for the next couple episodes. We're gonna go through the end of the game again, and this time we are going to save. We are not gonna save Zolf, and we will do evacuation without him. And then the other ending will be we will save Zolf, but we will do restoration. And after those 2 episodes, we're gonna check out Score Attack and see if that pushes us to do another run. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Check out that episode, we'll decide at the end of that. Neither one of these endings particularly says they are the right ending or the wrong ending. You just have to be left wondering. But that's the end of this episode. We will continue from last time. And do the other endings. That's what we'll do, and then we'll check out Score Attack and think if we're going to do a 3rd run or not. But as I said, that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you think I made the right decision. Was the first run the right decision, or just the right decision? As always, I ask you like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my video. All that helps me out. If you want to support me through fan funding, click on my name, Rydo. That takes you to my main YouTube page. Any amount you donate will be greatly appreciated. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Google+, or friend me on Steam or Battle.net, all that information is down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.